Ever hit send on an Instagram message and instantly regretted it? Like, wished you could reach back through the screen and snatch it back.
Oh, yeah, we've all been there.
You're definitely not alone.
That sinking feeling is way too familiar.
Well, today we're diving deep into the world of deleted Instagram messages.
Ooh, interesting.
We're going to figure out if you can actually get those messages back.
Unsend forever. Is that even possible?
We're using a SocialWick Podcast episode as our guide.
Okay.
And let me tell you, it turns out there's a lot more to this than meets the eye.
Really?
Yeah, it's not as simple as just hitting delete.
So there's hope.
There might be. First things first, let's bust a myth.
Okay, hit me.
Instagram doesn't actually erase those messages right away.
Wait, really?
Yeah, SocialWick pointed this out. They don't vanish into thin air the second you hit delete.
Interesting. So where do they go? Like, what's the holdup?
That's what we're going to uncover. There are a couple of reasons for this delay.
Okay, lay it on me.
One is data retention.
Right, I've heard of that.
Companies like Instagram are often legally required to keep certain data for a period of time.
Just in case. Right.
Exactly.
Like for legal reasons or something.
Yep. And then there's the whole, what if they create a new feature later on thing?
Oh, interesting. Like, what if Instagram decides to add an undelete option someday?
Precisely. So they kind of have to hang on to those messages just in case.
It makes sense. So those messages are hanging out somewhere in the digital world, at least for a while.
They're like ghosts of conversations past.
Yeah.
But that means, theoretically, there's a chance you can get them back.
Ooh, this is getting good. Tell me more.
All right, so SocialWick outlined a couple of ways to potentially retrieve those vanished messages.
Okay, I'm all ears.
One way is through what they call a data download.
Data download.
Yeah, you ever seen that in your Instagram settings?
I think so.
It's under privacy and security. It sounds pretty simple.
How so?
You request the download, and Instagram emails you a file with all your data.
All of it.
All of it. But here's where it gets interesting.
Okay, I'm with you.
That data download includes a folder specifically for deleted messages.
Whoa, really? Like a secret archive?
I know, it's like a digital time capsule of all your past conversations.
That's amazing. So if I'm ever freaking out because I deleted an important message, I can just grab this data download.
It's definitely a path you can try.
So I can sift through my digital past and maybe find that lost gem.
Potentially.
But there's got to be a catch, right?
Well, remember those data retention policies we talked about?
Yeah.
It means Instagram isn't hoarding your data forever.
So there's a time limit?
Yep.
Okay.
The older a message is, the less likely it is to be in that data download.
So the clock is ticking.
You could say that. The sooner you realize you need that message back, the better your chances.
Got it.
Don't wait around. But I know what you're thinking.
Well,
What if you don't want to download all of your Instagram data just to find one message?
yeah, good point. That seems kind of excessive.
There's got to be another way.
Right.
And there is.
Oh, tell me.
And it's actually the method Instagram itself recommends.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Going directly through the app.
Okay.
Yeah, no massive data download required.
Love that. So how's this one work?
Simple. You head to your settings, go to your activity, and there's an option to download your information.
Oh, I see.
Just like with the data download, you'll get an email with a file.
Okay.
And within that file, those deleted messages should be hiding.
Cool. So 2 different ways to get to the same destination.
Exactly.
Finding those deleted messages. But is one better than the other?
Well, since this second method is the official Instagram recovery process,
Right.
it's generally considered to be more reliable and secure.
So the official route is the way to go.
Yep.
And the data download is more of a, like, back road option.
You got it.
Interesting. Okay, but you know how it is sometimes? That quick fix is just too tempting.
Oh, yeah, I know those quick fixes.
And that's where these third-party software options come in.
Ooh, yeah. SocialWick mentioned a couple.
Flying breath.
Phone Lab,
Okay.
Dr. Phone, they claim they can recover deleted messages.
Have you ever tried those?
I haven't, but I'm always a bit skeptical of anything that sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, there's usually a catch.
Exactly.
So what's the catch with this third-party software?
Well, to work their magic, they often need access to your Instagram account.
Like your login info.
A whole shebang.
That makes me nervous.
Yeah.
It's like giving someone the keys to your digital house, you know?
Exactly. And with all the data breaches happening these days.
It's a risky move.
Exactly. Especially when Instagram already offers its own ways to recover messages.
Right, right. So those third-party tools might not be worth the risk.
Probably not. But let's talk about the big question.
Yeah, hit me.
The question that's probably on everyone's mind.
What is it?
Are those deleted messages really gone forever?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah.
Like, truly gone.
Or are they still out there, somewhere, in the digital world?
Lurking in the shadows.
This is where things get a bit tricky.
Okay, how so?
Even if a message disappears from your chat history,
Okay.
there's a chance that copies still exist on Instagram servers.
Really? Why would they keep them?
You know, maybe for legal reasons or internal purposes. We don't really know for sure.
Hmm. That's a bit unsettling.
It is a little bit, right?
Makes you think.
Like they're digital ghosts.
Haha. Yeah, haunting us from the past.
We can't see them, but they might still be there.
It really makes you think about how much control we actually have over our digital footprint.
That's a great point. But before we get too philosophical,
Right.
what about those disappearing messages? The ones that vanish after you've seen them?
Oh, yeah, those are tricky.
Is there any hope of recovering those?
I'd say it's almost impossible
Really?
because they're literally designed to self-destruct. There's not much you can do,
So they live up to their name.
pretty much.
Gone without a trace.
Yep. Like trying to catch smoke, it's already gone by the time you reach for it.
That's a great analogy. But I think we need to make one thing super clear.
Okay.
Even though Instagram gives us these options for recovering messages,
Right.
there's no guarantee that any of them will work.
It's not a foolproof system.
Not at all. And a lot depends on stuff we just can't control.
Yeah.
Like when Instagram purges data from their servers.
We're at their mercy, basically.
Pretty much. It's always worth a shot to try and recover a message, but
Don't get your hopes up too high.
exactly.
Okay, that's good to know.
Well, I think this has been a pretty eye-opening look into the world of deleted Instagram messages.
It really has.
We've learned that Instagram doesn't immediately erase them,
Right.
that there are ways to try and get them back,
Yeah.
and that even deleting might not be as permanent as we think.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
But there's so much more to talk about.
Really?
Like, why are people so eager to recover these messages in the first place?
Oh, yeah, good point.
And what are the ethical implications of trying to see someone else's deleted messages?
That's a big one.
Definitely something to think about.
I'm ready for more.
So, stay tuned. We'll be right back to continue our deep dive.
Can't wait. Okay, so we know those deleted messages might not be totally gone,
Right, they're out there, like digital ghosts.
but it makes you wonder, why are people so obsessed with getting them back?
Yeah, good question. It can't just be about fixing an accidental delete, right?
I mean, sometimes it is, but there's often a lot more to it than that.
Okay, like what?
Think about it. Deleted messages can be tied to really important stuff.
Oh.
Our memories,
Yeah.
our relationships,
Oh, right.
even legal matters.
Whoa, okay. So we're not just talking about, like, recovering a funny meme you accidentally deleted.
Not always, no.
These messages can have serious real-world implications.
Absolutely.
Give me an example.
Okay, imagine this. There's a miscommunication in a text message, and it causes a business deal to fall apart.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Or someone needs to prove that a promise was made in writing.
Right.
Deleted messages could be the key to solving those problems.
It's like those messages are breadcrumbs,
Yeah,
leading us back to important moments in our lives.
exactly. They can be really powerful,
And sometimes those breadcrumbs can make all the difference.
for sure. But it does raise a question.
What's that?
If these messages are so important, legally speaking, can they actually be used in court?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
It's complicated.
Yeah, I bet.
And it's constantly changing as technology evolves.
Makes sense.
But generally, yeah, recovered messages can be used as evidence
Oh, really?
if they're properly authenticated and if they're relevant to the case.
Okay, I see. So there are some rules.
There are a lot of rules.
Like what?
Well, you have to follow rules against hearsay evidence,
Okay.
which basically means you can't just show a message without any context.
Right, that makes sense.
And then there's the question of how those messages were obtained.
Oh, right, yeah.
If someone accessed them without permission, those messages might not hold up in court.
So it's not as simple as just hitting recover and printing out your chat history.
Definitely not.
There's a whole legal process to navigate.
Exactly.
So moral of the story, talk to a lawyer.
Yeah, if you're thinking about using recovered messages for legal reasons, definitely get advice from an expert.
Good advice. But let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
We've been talking about the potential downsides of these persistent messages,
Yeah.
like privacy concerns,
Right.
legal issue.
Uh-huh.
But they can also be a source of, like, good things too, right?
No, absolutely.
Right.
Think about recovering a message from someone you've lost.
Oh, wow.
Or rediscovering a heartwarming conversation from years ago.
That would be amazing. Those recovered messages could become like precious digital memories.
Exactly. They're like little time capsules
I love that.
of love, laughter, and connection.
Yeah, especially in our digital world, these messages can be a tangible connection to our past.
They remind us that it's not just about data and algorithms.
Right.
It's about human connection.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe there's some good that can come from these messages sticking around.
There definitely can be.
It's a good reminder that even in the digital world, there's still room for sentimentality
For sure.
and for preserving those memories that matter.
It's kind of a paradox, isn't it?
What do you mean?
The same technology that makes us worry about privacy and permanence
Right.
can also help us hold on to the things we cherish most.
That is a paradox. It's a lot to think about.
It is.
Every time we do a deep dive, it seems like we just uncover another layer of complexity to our digital lives.
It never ends.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's a reminder to, like, be mindful of what we do online
Yeah.
and to appreciate the connections we make
Mm-hmm.
and to really think about how technology is shaping our world.
It's a journey, a digital journey.
It really is.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, like how to maybe get those deleted Instagram messages back.
Right. And why people might even want to.
But there's one more thing we really need to talk about.
Okay.
SocialWick mentioned it too.
What is it?
Privacy.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
It's super important.
Absolutely. It's easy to get caught up in the technical stuff, but
Right.
we can't forget about the ethical side of all of this.
Exactly. Especially when it comes to like someone else's messages.
Uh-huh. Like just because you can try to recover a message
Right.
doesn't mean you should.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think it depends.
Okay.
Recovering your own messages, like if you need to clear up a misunderstanding,
Yeah.
or if you're just feeling nostalgic,
Right.
that's one thing.
Makes sense.
But trying to get into someone else's messages without their permission,
Yeah.
that's completely different.
Totally different.
It's like reading someone's diary.
Ooh, yeah.
A big no-no.
It feels wrong.
It is wrong. A total violation of trust.
And wouldn't that like get you into legal trouble too,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
depending on what you did with the information?
Absolutely. There are laws about this stuff.
Right.
Digital privacy is a big deal. Unauthorized access to data,
Right.
including private messages,
Yeah.
that can have serious consequences.
So don't do it.
Don't do it.
Be respectful.
Respect people's privacy,
As-
even online.
Even online. Good advice. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive.
It really has.
I mean, who knew deleted Instagram messages were so complicated?
Right.
We've learned so much.
It's crazy how much these messages can affect our lives.
Our relationships.
Even legal stuff.
It just shows how technology is blurring the lines between online and offline.
For sure.
What we do online has real-world consequences.
That's a great takeaway.
So before we wrap things up, I have one last thought for our listeners.
Okay, hit me.
Knowing everything we know now, how do we move forward?
Good question.
Do we need to be more careful about what we share online? Or does this just reinforce how important it is to communicate clearly and honestly in the first place?
That's a tough one. Maybe it's a bit of both.
Yeah, probably.
Be mindful of what we share,
Right.
but also try to be upfront and honest in our communication.
Well said. I think that about sums it up. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into deleted Instagram messages.
It's been fun.
Until next time, everyone, remember to be mindful of your digital footprint, respect everyone's privacy, and keep exploring those digital time capsules.